Here in Buffalo, community leaders are now working with the city on a series of police reform laws. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Ed Riley is live for us tonight here in downtown Buffalo. Ed?
Well, Keith, the dramatic events of last week have now brought several groups seeking police reform into direct communication with city officials and Mayor Byron Brown. And people on both sides of the issue say those discussions are moving forward.
That someone is going to advocate on their behalf and make sure that this city remains a safe city.
After a week that included protest violence and a highly publicized injury to an older man, there has been 3 days of calm. One of the big changes was Buffalo police took a more low-key approach by not stationing police in riot gear around protesters.
People will make sure that those events are safe.
Communication on police reform is also taking some big steps forward. Over the weekend, a coalition of more than 24 groups under the banner of Free the People Western New York met with Mayor Brown for 4 hours to discuss police reform.
Requiring de-escalation prior to use of force, requiring a warning before shooting, requiring another present officer to intervene.
The Buffalo Police Advisory Board was one of the groups that took part.
They seem very receptive to solutions coming from people, so we're excited to engage them and take them up on that offer.
The advisory board believes the creation of a civilian oversight committee with the power to investigate and discipline police officers is a high priority.
And we're asking for that board to be completely independent of any political appointments.
A total of 13 proposals were submitted by We the People Western New York. Those included ideas on community policing, strict guidelines on the use of weapons and tear gas, immediate termination of officers with records of abuse, and adopting carry-alls law, requiring officers to intervene when a colleague is using excessive force and prohibiting retribution for that intervention. Mayor Brown acknowledged the ideas were being driven by people passionate for change, but he cautioned that some changes require approval from other government bodies and changes to the Buffalo Police Union contract.
Some things require federal change, require state legislation. Some things could potentially violate the collective bargaining agreement.
Now, a short while ago, I talked with the organizer of Free the People Western New York, who tells me that more meetings with Mayor Brown are being scheduled. In addition, the group is also tweaking some of its demands. Now, the city tells me that we can expect to hear some announcements about police reform in the near future. Live in downtown Buffalo, Ed Riley, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Ed.